Hi there, everybody. I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my overview for week March the 9th. Okay, so second week of March. This is a huge month. And don't forget to go into my pages on the NewYorkDailyNews.com/horoscope. Or you can get there through jenniferangel.com and have a look at the March overview that I've put there. There's also March horoscopes for each sign, but there's a whole overview of what's coming up just right through the month for the star chart, because it's quite a significant month. Myself and some other astrologers are calling it a game changer month, and I think it's a really good term for it. I like it. There's lots happening, that's for sure, and I can see it playing out already in people's lives. So let's go through and just have a look at what's actually going on this week. So right at the or not quite at the start of the week, it got it down here as the 11th, is Mars is going to be conjunct with Uranus. So both in the sign of Aries. Of course, Mars is very comfortable in Aries. It's the sign that it rules. So it can be very outspoken. So you want to be a little bit careful that you're not being outspoken in areas that you could regret, particularly as on that same day, Mars is going to square Pluto now. Pluto is in your... Pluto's a pretty heavy-duty planet, okay? So it brings it to a break point, both of these. Mars is like the trigger. Pluto brings things to a break point. Excuse me. And square is confrontational. Now, this is in Capricorn, so it will start to build it up again, being in Capricorn, but you want to be just mindful that you want to be a little more in control, if you can. Easier to say than do, particularly when you've got aspects like this. But you be careful of being stubborn. Determined is great, but when the determination goes into a stubbornness, then not so great. So you can encounter some issues that perhaps need to be dealt with. And if that's the case, then you don't want to sidestep them, but it's all about really how you deal with them. And if you can deal with them in a way that you're not so reactive, then better. If you can't, then so be it. Things come out as they come out sometimes, and it's better to get them out than not, because if you don't, then you're just going to push that energy down, and it's going to trigger and come up at another time, and probably an inappropriate time. Okay, so what will be, will be. Now, right on that... around the same time, we've got Mars in a favorable aspect with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is in Leo, so it's very optimistic. So it's like, in one sense, we've got some issues that we're encountering. On the other sense, then you really have the will and determination to sort of get up and be forthright about it and make it happen. So in that sense, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of energy this week. And this is around the start to the middle of the week. So things are likely to start moving. And so whenever there's change in your life, then things can become unsettled, and we don't always like that. It makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable and out of our comfort zone. But you know what? When life is messy, then life is changing, and that's a good thing. All right? So try to just sort of ride through it and see where you end up. Now, getting a little bit later in the week, we've got... Mercury is on the move. Mercury is a communication planet. It's going to make a move from Aquarius into Pisces, okay? So in Pisces, there's a little bit of a conflict. A couple of ways of looking at this. First of all, Mercury is like very logical, Pisces is intuitive, but let's not forget, Pisces is a dual sign. So it's like the two fishies. So, one sense is they're highly intuitive, the other sense is they're highly analytical. So there can be a little bit of a conflict here with the logical with Mercury and the intuitive with Pisces, but in the other sense, it does work together, I think, in the way that if you can get the logic and the intuitive together, then really, that's like heaven and earth coming together, in my mind. And, then you're using all of your skills, and that is one of the challenges I think we have in life, is really to, stay grounded, but to stay connected to our source, whatever that is for each and every one of us. And in my mind, I think Mercury in Pisces sort of helps us move a little closer to that goal. Okay, there's always two ways of looking at things, that's for sure. All right, now right at the end of the week or on the weekend, Saturn is going to go into a retrograde transit. So Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is all about freedom, and Saturn prefers to put down roots. And look at longevity and more commitment. So in relationships, can be a little bit of a standing back and a sense of wanting your independence, but it's almost like, well, this is what I could do, this is what I should do, okay? So we've also got a conflict there with our head and heart, okay? So always good to, at the end of the day, I always think the heart wins through, and if it doesn't, then, there's a little bit of us that can always think, well, I wonder, what if? And personally, I don't like to do that. I don't like to have what ifs. And so if you're going to, that's the question to ask yourself. If you make a decision or not make a decision, rather, are you going to end up with some what ifs, and how are you going to feel about that? All right, so all in all, it's certainly a week of movement. Next week, we're going to have that seventh and final square between Uranus and Pluto. So things are changing, things are moving and progressing. Is it going to be a little bit confronting or unsettling in the meantime? Sure, but you know what? We've had that before. We can handle it, okay? All right, have a great week, everybody. I'm now going to go ahead and do the monthly, just a little snapshots for not the monthly, for the week for each sign. And look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.